This is Josh Heller,
This is Logan Ripley,
and you're listening to Sports Now on Radio St. Rose.
Internet radio service of the College of St. Rose in Albany, New York.
You're back here with Sports Now. I'm Josh Heller, as always joined by my co-host, Logan Ripley. Logan, how's it going today?
It's going well. One of the biggest games I've ever seen, one of the best college basketball games ever seen by anyone. Villanova takes out number 1 seed UNC, Villanova number 2, on a last-second 3 buzzer beater.
Yeah.
Take us through that play, Josh.
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't tune in until late in the game.
All right.
So I only saw from about the 5-minute mark on because I was doing a bunch of other homework and stuff. But I tuned in, and from what I saw, it was a pretty even game. And then when Marcus Page hit his game-tying 3 with, what was it, like 5 seconds?
4.7 seconds
Yeah.
left on the clock.
So almost 5 seconds left on the clock, and he hits an off-balance 3 deep, and it goes in. I'm like, all right, this game's going into overtime, and UNC's going to win it.
Yeah.
Because Marcus Page, at that point, he just showed to me that, all right, this team is going to be tough to beat if they go into OT.
Yeah.
And then Villanova comes up the court. Who was it? The most outstanding player. What's his name?
Diacono.
Yeah, all right. So he gets the ball, and he hands it off to Jenkins, right?
Yep.
And then he hits the 3. He lets go of it with probably, like 0.5 left?
Yeah, it was out and maybe had 0.5, 0.6 left when it was spinning through the air.
Yeah.
And it went off. Then the buzzer went off. Yep.
Buzzer goes off. It goes right in. Everyone goes nutso, except for Jay Wright.
Yeah,
and I
the
think
coach of Villanova. Yeah,
that kind of speaks volumes. I think. I don't know.
I think what he was thinking was, we're gonna go for broke right here. We're gonna call up this play, and it looked like they've done it before. A lot of teams have done this play where the inbounder was Jenkins, and the point was Archie Diacono, who is usually not the point guard. He would play 2 or 3.
Yep.
And they gave it to Archie Diacono. Just call him Diacono. Gave it to Diacono. Archie. Call him Archie. He gave the ball to Archie, dribble up the court, and he kind of stopped in front of the 2 men. 2 guys in front of him, and a little shovel pass back to Jenkins, who was probably a good 3 or 4 feet behind the three-point line, and he just rose up over the top of I think it was Britt. I'm not
100% sure.
Some one of the bigger guys on the court for UNC.
Yeah.
And just drained the 3. It was a great shot. In the minutes before that, leading up to this moment, Marcus Page had one of the best closing performances of anyone I've seen. They were down, and he hit a big 3.
They were down what? What was their biggest deficit? It was at least 15, right? Or maybe 12.
Yeah, maybe around that.
Yeah.
But in the last 4 minutes, he definitely made a push for this team, and 2 minutes left, he hits a big 3 in the corner. They call a quick timeout, Roy Williams, and then they proceed to, I think, trade baskets, but then he goes up for a layup. They needed the layup. He goes up, and he's maybe, I don't know, it was close to being blocked, but it goes up off the rim. It was kind of like a finger roll, and it reminded me of Patrick Ewing in the playoff game where it just went ba-doink, doink, and came out, and he did the same thing. But the difference between him and Ewing in that point in time was that he went and got the board. He put it back up and scored when his team needed him, and he just willed him and his team to that last second. 4.7 seconds left with Villanova ball, because that's the best they could have done. And then he hit that amazing 3 where he pump fakes in midair and then drains it, because that's just the player he is, and you just have to tip your cap to Villanova, who just made a great play, and Jay Wright, who called a good play.
Yeah. And speaking of Jay Wright, he gets the Coach of the Year this year, and I think it's easily deserved. I mean, I would have put
Jim Boeheim, maybe.
I would have put Roy Williams in that conversation, obviously with North Carolina's success. But I feel you look at the Villanova team, always counted out. Never given the respect they deserve. I never given them the respect they deserve. I had them losing to Wichita State.
Yeah.
And then he takes a team with guys like Jenkins and
Archie Diacono,
and so
Hart,
on.
and so on. Yeah, they're not very big caliber
no,
players.
They're not a Marcus Page. They're not a Bryce Johnson. They're I think I saw it somewhere that North Carolina is a good group of players. Villanova is a good team.
Right, yes.
So
Team wins games,
yeah.
as everyone knows, as the cliche goes.
Yeah.
And
I think it's well deserved.
yeah, they're a good team. Jay Wright's a very good coach, and he's representing the Big East well. They did get beat in the Big East championship game versus Seton Hall, which was kind of like, oh my God, they're not ready for the tournament
Right.
moment.
And that's why I have them
Then
listening to Wichita
they
State.
proceed to go and just destroy everyone they play. They beat Oklahoma, setting a record by 50 points in the first Final Four game. And then, they go and do this versus UNC. Great shot, great tournament, and overall play. I would have put Boeheim maybe probably second place. With the way you don't see a coach have a bigger impact than Boeheim. He's only playing 7 people, and this isn't a personal thing. He's playing 7 people, just like I'd say the same thing for Coach K. They play 7 people, so doesn't Boeheim. It's not a deep bench like UNC, Nova has a deeper bench. So you need to manage minutes more, and then also that win versus Virginia when they went in the coaching change he made or in that 3-2 to go to the press and then back to the 3-2 won them the game. Not just Malachi Richardson who made the shots, but I think that won the game, and that was one of the biggest coaching moves I've seen that has won a game all year. So I thought he was very deserving, and I thought maybe they wouldn't go with the book and give it to the team that give it to the coach who won the national championship, but they did again. And then again with another big story would be Archie Diacono winning Player of the Year, Final
Most outstanding
Four
player.
Yeah, MVP for the Final Four.
Yeah.
He averaged 15.5 points per game, I believe, and he had a great final 2 games at Villanova. He definitely carried them through that, but he hit that game-winning shot. Jenkins, I thought maybe he would get it because of that, because he didn't have too bad of a game.
Yeah.
But I guess if you look at the body of work from the previous 2 games, Arcidiacono is well deserving.
Yep. And now we, like you mentioned, Villanova beat Oklahoma in a record-setting affair, and then you look at Oklahoma, and it's Buddy Hield that ends up with Player of the Year, like we both imagined that he would.
Right.
I thought
that was a tough game. That was a tough game.
Yeah. Now I was at the Rangers game, so I just tuned in at one. I just looked at the TV up there during intermission, and I'm like, "Holy crap! Oklahoma's down 30."
Yeah. I watched that game, and that wasn't too good for Buddy Hield.
From what I've seen, though, Villanova just couldn't miss a shot.
No, they shot. You're gonna win if you shoot 70% for the whole game. That wasn't just the first half, folks, or the second half. They shot it for the whole game, and that's unprecedented. You don't see that usually. Buddy Hield really didn't play that well. He got his shots. The first shot of the game, within 4 seconds, he hits a 3 right in Villanova's face, a step back jumper, and I was like, oh boy, he's going off. He's gonna will his team for the W, and that's an older team too. Those were 2 very good. You could almost put Oklahoma on the other side of the bracket, and they might have gotten there, and it might have been the championship game.
Yeah.
Because those are 2 solid teams, 2 veteran-led teams, with Oklahoma being the oldest starting lineup for one of the longest time. They've played together so often. They're molded into this way of playing basketball that not many teams have been through in the past 2 years. They've always been together, a close-knit group, and to see them get blown out like that, they just didn't make a lot of shots, and Nova hit everything they looked at, and they did for pretty much the whole tournament. I guess they turned it on when it was when they needed it most, but then again, no team's gonna withstand that long of making shots.
Right.
So maybe it's the shots they're taking rather than the shots they're making. Their misses aren't gonna be bad misses. They're taking smart shots, and that leads into how good their coach was again. So.
Yep. I'm curious to see where Buddy Hield is going to fall in the draft. Where do you think he's going to end up going?
He's going to go middle of the first round, I think. He's
Okay.
not going to be very low because you look at those freshmen, they're younger.
Yeah.
They have more upside.
Yeah.
He's shown he changed his shot. He's a very hard worker. He's probably is the best 3-point shooter in college basketball, but other guys can do that too. Like Brandon Ingram can hit the 3, not as well as him right now, but he's also 6'9" and plays shooting guard with a 7'1" wingspan.
Yeah.
Unlike Buddy Hield, who isn't really defined in what he does. He's a shooting guard, but is he big enough to play shooting guard? Is he a point guard?
No, he's not.
So it's almost like that thing where if you're a point guard and you're smaller, you want that big guy to be playing. You want that big guy to be playing shooting guard or point guard. Or yeah, you want if your point guard's smaller, you want a bigger shooting guard, kind of like Steph Curry, Klay Thompson. But if your shooting guard's small, you want a big point guard. They're like the whole AI and AI situation. Allen Iverson played shooting guard in the NBA.
Yeah.
He didn't guard shooting guards. He guarded point guards because their point guard at that time was 6'5", and he could guard shooting guards. So if you get like a Buddy Hield, he'd be good off the bench. He'd be good on a team with a taller point guard like a Michael Carter-Williams, something like that. Maybe Milwaukee. They're going to have a lower pick, but who knows.
Yeah.
So a team like that could be good for him.
Yeah. So you say top 15?
Top 20.
Top 20.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
There's so many other people with upside. I saw that Scal Labrasi from Kentucky.
Yeah, he declared
today, and he has amazing upside. He had a horrible freshman year, like just horrible. So I wouldn't see like him going before Buddy Hield, but it's almost like they'd be in the same spot if I had to give an opinion.
Okay. All right. So that's the end of March/April Madness.
Yeah, I know. It being April 5th.
The best sport, probably, if not the best sporting event of the year. It's top, 3.
Yeah.
But
and by the way, number 2 is this week.
Yes, I'll let you get your preview session later. Yeah. So opening day just has gone and passed. The Yankees are playing their opening day game right now
because of inclement weather.
Yes,
it did snow in Albany, New York. Everyone, and
yes.
I think people know about that. It's kind of sad.
So let me get do you have any big takeaways from opening day here?
Yeah, I just want to. Just one thing, I guess, is actually 2 things.
Right.
The pitcher is showing dominance right now, where usually you don't really see that. I think I'm seeing some pitchers that are showing dominance.
I mean, you got Kershaw, obviously.
And the
Arrieta
guy for
played fine.
Blue Jays.
Stroman, yep.
Stroman threw a very good game. Kershaw was just amazing, like he always is.
And then there's Dranky.
Yep.
Who, that wasn't pretty.
So, I don't know. I think that pitchers are throwing really well. Hitters are obviously tuning back in, trying to get in that mode again.
Bryce here, you finished.
No, you go ahead.
All right. I had 2 big takeaways. Bryce Harper is a video game character. It's ridiculous. And people always made fun of him for the bat flips or whatever, stop, just play the game, whatever. And then he wears the hat in his post-game interview that says make baseball fun again, and I want to buy 7 of them.
Yeah, because he's the guy that you want. He's the
best. He's the
catalyst that you want in that MLB logo, swinging the bat. We've known about this kid since he was 16, hitting dingers in Tampa Bay Stadium because he was in a home run derby and was just amazing with the aluminum bat, and now he's amazing with a wooden bat. So
let's for now on, let's please refer to him as 2018 Yankee Bryce Harper. Thank you very much.
Okay.
All right.
I don't know if that's gonna happen.
A man can dream.
That's a lot of money.
The other thing, the other takeaway for me, I knew Trevor Story was gonna have, he was a rookie coming in. I thought he was gonna have a pretty good season. 2 homers on opening day off Zach Greinke. Welcome to the Bates kid.
Yeah, right.
He's not, I'm not comparing him to any, great, I think he's third base or shortstop.
Right.
Not comparing him to any, big name guy, but watch out. I think he's a big sleeper this year. I think he's actually going to have a pretty good year.
So the shortstop for Houston Astros. Correa. Jock Peterson.
Okay.
Byron Buxton.
Corey Seager.
Corey Seager.
Madelson. Well, no, never mind.
I would say those guys are like some, and then there's some
And some people
pitchers.
wouldn't even put Jock Peterson up there.
I would,
Yeah.
but
Now you're talking young guys already in the majors, right?
yes.
Okay.
Well, Byron Buxton's just
He's in the
getting
majors.
his start though, right?
Yeah, if you want to
this will
talk,
be his first full season.
yes, if you want to talk guys that aren't in the majors, yeah, you have to look at guys like Julio Urias of the Dodgers and
Which they're loaded. Who even knows how they got that loaded?
I think it's Lucas Giolito from the Nationals is the number
Yeah.
one prospect.
Yeah.
Those are guys not in the bids yet, but like you
Byron
said, guys
Buxton
in the bids.
is gonna be really good player.
Right.
He's all right. They lose Torrey Hunter, the Twins. They wait 4 years. They got another Torrey Hunter.
Yeah,
Like the guy's gonna be
he's
good,
so
and
speedy.
he's already making great plays out there in center. So he's definitely one.
A bad opening day, 0 for
Well,
3 Ks, but
Yeah, but he's gonna be one to watch.
I don't even know who he went up against. So
Yeah, he's gonna be one to watch. I guess we'll move on from there. If you have anything else to add on opening day.
no, I mean, not really. I mean, I felt that, I was really looking forward to baseball. I mean, when the Rangers get eliminated in the first round, I'm going to be watching baseball a lot.
Yeah.
So, I'm really looking forward to this season, definitely.
All right.
At the end of spring training, we had a pretty big injury go down in Arizona
Yeah.
with A.J. Pollock fracturing his elbow. Timetable still unsure. Not sure when he's going to be back, but he's been placed on the DL. A big blow for the Diamondbacks. They lose Ender Inciarte to the Braves in the Shelby Miller deal, and now their other good infielder, A.J. Pollock, is out. They have a really good talent group with Greinke and Goldschmidt and so on, and they had Pollock, who's I know he went 19th in my fantasy baseball draft. That's a huge blow for a team trying to contend for an already loaded NL West.
Yeah, like that Arizona team definitely had a lot of upside from what they did last year and the moves they made this year.
Mm-hmm.
How did Miller pan out? He was opening.
Shelby Miller?
Yeah, he wasn't.
He wasn't opening day.
That's a very good rotation if he's not opening.
No, because it was Greinke.
Well, I know Greinke.
Yeah.
Greinke had such a great year
And
last
Patrick
year.
Corbin.
And Corbin. Now they have Goldschmidt, but who was the guy that they got in the outfield recently?
Who was the guy they got in the outfield?
Recently was it not Trumbo? 'Cause
No, he went to
was
the
there,
Orioles.
But he left. I thought they got someone else.
I'm drawing a blank. I'll look it up. Keep going.
So yeah, Arizona's looking stacked, but that AJ Pollock injury is definitely gonna put them back. They're gonna have someone else to come in there. I'm not really sure at this moment who's gonna be playing in that infield with Pollock out, but they're definitely gonna contend this year. I think they can win that. If they get hot, they have the pitching rotation like no other team besides the Dodgers can maybe, that can mirror image with them.
Mm-hmm.
Dodgers, Blue Jays are looking all right. Just teams around the league that have similar rotations. I feel like the Yankees would be more in the lower tier. Not lower tier, but if you have great rotations, they would be one lower than that. Looking at ours, because Shelby Miller and Zach Greinke are just two fireballers, and we maybe have one. So
Yeah, I don't know if I would put Shelby Miller that high. I'm not a huge Shelby Miller fan.
Yeah.
If you look at his advanced stats, he got really lucky last season. So that's a guy that I think they overpaid for him, sending Dansby Swanson out for him.
Who
But
they
I mean,
just
he's a really
drafted.
good player.
Who
No,
they just
Shelby Miller's a
drafted,
really
yeah.
good player. I just don't think he's top of the rotation good. He is pitching in their second game of the season today against Colorado. To answer your question for the outfield, here's what it looks like. You had Pollock, you have Ricky Weitz, Yasmani Tomas, who they had the young kid last year. He did all right.
Yeah.
David Peralta, who's pretty good, and then Socrates Brito.
So I must be thinking.
Great name.
Great name. I must be thinking of a different team.
Yeah.
So that's kind of weaker than it was in the past.
Yep.
I know Trumbo kind of had a down year last year, I believe. So.
Yeah, he did. Yep.
But Orioles, man, I didn't want him in our division.
Yeah, what he didn't do. And then now over to staying in the AL East, you just mentioned the Orioles. Yankees' Brian Mitchell has undergone successful surgery on his toe, I believe, and he is out at least 4 months. Big blow for the Yankees bullpen. They expected Mitchell to be the guy to fill in Adam Warren's role when Warren went for Starlin Castro. Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, our bullpen that was arguably the best last year in the whole league is completely changed, and by completely, I mean our main parts are not changed, but the people that were so good from the 5 to the 6 to the 7 inning guys were just amazing last year, and we had so many people that could do it. They brought up a few people last year. I remember at one point where they're bringing up infielders and outfielders where people end up getting hurt, like Slade Heathcott and Mason Williams and a couple others. But they're bringing up bullpen guys, and none of them. I didn't think any of them really looked that good.
I like James Patsos.
Who was there's another guy, not Rivera.
Pinder, Rumbelow, all the stuff names. Lindgren.
No.
I'm out of names.
All right. Well,
I listed 3.
I don't think he was up very long. I watched the game.
Well, what did you think his name was?
Thought it started with an R, but you can look it up if you want to.
Yeah, Rumbelow. He's not on the majors now.
No, I'm pretty sure he's in our AAA right now.
Okay, hang on. Keep talking.
So with this bullpen we have now, I don't know a lot of people now that we've sent away. Justin Wilson, who was amazing. We got Cespedes back, and I feel like I always talk about the bullpen whenever we talk about Yankees. I guess I have faith in Giardi and what he can do, and who he knows is ready to pitch up here. Adam Warren, I thought, was one of the best guys in the bullpen last year, where a lot of people give him flack for not being that good of a starter.
Yeah.
But then, he goes in the bullpen and he finds his niche, and then, oh, there he goes. So I feel like we could have almost kept the same guys and been even better than what we're at now.
Yeah.
But then again, we have to fill other voids, and one way of doing that is maintaining somewhat of what we have in our bullpen while increasing other areas of production in different positions. So I know it's all about managing game, and you can't have the best bullpen, the best starting rotation, the best infield, best outfield, best catcher, pitching rotation. So I still think that we're maybe top 5 in bullpen. Probably not the best, because I think the Royals are the best.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Now they're the best, definitely, at least until we get some guys back. And what we see out of the younger guys and the veterans that are going to be holding up that mid relief section of our rotation, or bullpen rather. And I'm just kind of looking forward to see like 10 games go by for the Yankees, and then looking at stats and seeing, how we're doing. So I like opening day. Yeah. And I like the first couple games, but I wouldn't say it's my favorite. I love to get into the middle of the season and see how everyone's doing.
Yeah. Reading off the AAA pitchers to answer your question earlier. Stop me if you recognize.
Here we go.
All right. Tyler Cloyd.
No.
Nick Goody.
No.
Oh, I thought I had it there. Chad Green.
No.
Kyle Haynes.
No.
Diego Moreno.
Maybe. Go.
Tyler Olson.
No.
James Patsos.
No.
Vinny Pastano.
No.
Brandon Pinder.
No.
Nick Rumbelow.
No.
Anthony Swarzak.
No.
Tyler Webb.
No.
All right. Double A?
Might as well go for it.
All right. Cole Koshow.
No.
Dietrich Enns.
No.
Giovanni Gallegos.
No.
Ronald Herrera.
No.
No, he never. No. Brady. None of these guys actually made the bids.
Yeah. So
there's Evan Ruttige, Rutkyj.
It's not a big deal. I don't know.
No. Now you got me curious, man. All right. So yeah. Brian Mitchell, big hit for the Yankees bullpen, but I think they'll survive. All they have to do pretty much is last April, and then Chapman comes back. And from the short stint of the Yankees game I saw before we started recording the show, Chase and Shreve looked fine.
Yeah.
So I think we'll be fine. So over to Hockey Minute. Steven Stamkos is out 1 to 3 months after a blood clot in his right arm. He underwent surgery. The Lightning take another huge hit with Stamkos and Strawman out. Their chances in the playoffs definitely didn't depend mostly on Ben Bishop, but also guys like Victor Hedman, Tyler Johnson, Nikita Kucherov, and so on. And then Duncan Keith of the Chicago Blackhawks was suspended 6 games for swinging his stick at the head of Charlie Coyle. Suspended 6 games, one of those being in the playoffs, so he'll miss game 1. The big news out of New York, Ryan McDonough could possibly be out 4 to 6 weeks with a fractured metacarpal. This is from Rangers blogger @HockeyStatMiner. He has a fairly reliable source that says this. The Rangers called up Brady Shea, so we'll have to see how they mix Shea and McElrath in there. And lastly, the Boston Bruins are really falling out of the playoff picture. They might not make it. Their loss enabled the Rangers to clinch against the Columbus Blue Jackets. That's all I got.
All right, so I found who I was talking about.
Who was it?
Jose Ramirez.
He's not even on the team anymore.
No, he's not on the team
No, he
anymore.
got traded to Seattle.
Yeah,
in the
good.
Dustin Ackley deal.
Good, because his ERA was 15 in 3 appearances with 5 runs and 6 hits given up, 5 earned runs, and 4 walks. So I watched all the games that he pitched in, I think. And,
I was so confused. I'm like, who are you talking
No,
about?
it was Jose Ramirez.
Okay,
though,
yeah,
'cause,
him
man,
and Flores for Ackley. That was the deal.
Yeah. We're going to move over to the hard court. NBA Hall of Famers class revealed.
Yeah.
We got some big guys and we got some small guys.
You want to list them off for me?
Yeah, I know a few. If I miss any, then you're gonna have to fill in the
I
voids.
might not know them all either. Go ahead.
Yao Ming.
Yeah.
Great center for the Rockets. With Tracy McGrady in those good years. Like 07-08 was a very good year for them.
Mhm.
Shaq Diesel.
Yeah.
Shaquille O'Neal.
Do you think he'll wear a Celtics jersey?
No, he won't.
No, I'm
Played for
kidding.
the Celtics, the Suns, the Heat, the Lakers,
And
the
so on.
Magic,
Cavaliers,
the
right?
Cavs at one point. I think that's actually all the teams right there.
Yeah, it might have been.
So yeah, he's probably one of the biggest. Allen Iverson makes it. Philadelphia 76er. I believe he won the MVP in 2002. Not positive, but I think that was the year. And scoring title was 5 times. So one of the best scorers and one of the most intimidating players of all time. Just ask Tyronn Lue, the coach of the Cavs, at this moment. The classic step over after nailing a jumper in his face versus the Lakers.
Yep.
Other people that were inducted are
I have the list, so if you need help.
coach from Michigan State,
Yeah, what's his name?
D'Antoni.
Nope.
No, that's
Tom Izzo.
Tom Izzo. D'Antoni, I believe, is the football coach for Michigan State.
Yes, actually. Yes.
So, yeah, Tom Izzo. And,
I doubt you might be able to get any of these other ones. Do you want me to just read them off?
Was there a journalist or announcer? No, there's 2 referees.
1 referee.
No, there's 2.
There's 1. I'm on ESPN. It says 1.
Well, I read there's 2.
All right. You have player Zelmo Beatty.
Yeah, I don't know that one.
Referee Daryl Garrettson. Coach John McClendon.
Yep.
Player Cumberland Posey.
Yep.
Owner Jerry Reinsdorf, excuse me. And player Cheryl Swoops.
Yep, Cheryl Swoops. I forgot that one. I knew that one too. WNBA, one of the best WNBA players of all time.
Yeah.
I actually have a basketball signed by Cheryl Swoops.
Oh, yeah?
So that's kind of cool.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so that's definitely one of the best NBA Hall of Fame classes we've seen in a while.
Yeah, no controversy, I don't think.
No.
I think everyone that got in deserved to get in.
And I've heard people talking, Yao Ming doesn't belong in there. It's like Yao Ming was one of the most dominating centers of all time. Like, if you have to ask anyone, ask Shaq, because they went up against each other a couple times.
plenty of times, yeah.
And that was like the must-watch basketball. And Yao Ming could do it all. He could hit the jumper. He could block your shot. He was strong enough, even though he didn't look it.
Yeah.
Shaq was one of the most enforcing players of all time. And AI played just as big as them, even though he's in a 6-foot frame. So,
yeah.
Dream team if you had those 3 on your 5-on-5 team. You could add in anyone else for the 5th member, and you'd still win everything. So.
Yep. So that's it for football. Slow day there, as well as a slow. That was it for basketball. Excuse me, getting ahead of myself. But it's also a slow day for football. The only news being LaShawn McCoy will not be charged was it an assault incident?
It was an assault versus a police officer. He pushed them, I believe, punched, who knows.
Yeah.
The real logistics of it. But, yeah, we talked about this in one of our first shows when football was...
It's been a long time coming,
when football was, really prominent right in the last 3 months, 2 months. Yeah, he got lucky there because that could have ended really bad for him.
Yeah.
So I don't think he's going to be entering the season with anything against him through the NFL. We have yet to see that, but
it could still happen. It's like the Chapman thing where charges were dropped and then you're suspended. We'll see.
So we'll see.
Because the leads probably open their own investigation.
They will. I don't think LaShawn McCoy will have any problems, seeing as he got off with assaulting a police officer, I don't think he's going to get anything in the NFL. So
Before we get into trivia, do you want to give me your Masters preview?
yeah,
I'm going to let you take the reins on this one. Go ahead.
It's the greatest tradition in sports.
Okay.
And I know you've been hearing it all month. You know, basketball's going on. But we're finally here, ladies and gentlemen, and I can't wait for the Masters at Augusta National Golf Course in Augusta, Georgia. Who do we got? We got Jason Day, the Aussie. We got Adam Scott, the Aussie.
Yeah.
And they're looking to headline it. Rory McIlroy had a hole-in-one at the 16th during his practice round.
Mm-hmm.
So he's definitely swinging well.
Now, we did a mini preview with Keith where we picked 3 guys to keep a name out for,
Yeah.
but this is more of an extensive preview.
Yeah.
So.
A couple other guys, Jordan Spieth is definitely one to look for because he can
always be in it.
He played well this past weekend in Houston, where people counted him out of late because he hasn't won anything yet, and people are like, "Oh, why hasn't he won?" Well, he's only 22 years old. Yeah, he was playing great golf, and then he got worn out, and he's starting to get it back, which is good. Phil Mickelson played really well too. There's a lot of people, but for a couple people that are always in it and they're always playing well, Louis Oosthuizen and Charles Schwartzel are always in these tournaments, and if either of them won, I would not be surprised. I'd be surprised that they beat everyone else in the field, like all the other, like Jordan Spieth and all them, but I wouldn't be too surprised seeing the fact that they're always in there. Angel Cabrera is one to watch. For old guy.
And what's it, Cabrera Bayos? What's his name?
Carbello. Yeah, Carbello, right?
Something like that. But yeah, he was in
it's a hyphen.
He was towards the top of the leaderboard in Houston, wasn't he?
Angel Carbello.
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah.
We speak English, not even well.
Yeah. So, he is the one to look for. Usually, the Masters is won by someone who is hot, and of course, Jordan Spieth won the tournament for the Masters last season. So, I think his name was Herman, won it this week at the Open in Houston.
Yeah, and like you said, with guys staying hot, keep an eye on Henrik Stenson.
Right, because
I've always been a Stenson fan.
He's finished second in so many tournaments.
It's sad. Yeah.
I don't know what it's doing to him if it's killing me.
Yeah, right.
He needs to win. He had one really good year at FedEx Cup, and he won that.
He was number 2 in the world at one point, wasn't he?
He was really good. Yeah. He's definitely one to watch. He strikes the ball well, but I think that for longer hitters that can really hit the ball. The Masters is a hard tournament, and you're seeing that mostly because they want to go for everything. Jordan Spieth showed his resilience of hitting 3 woods, even though he doesn't even hit his driver that far.
Mm-hmm.
And another guy that was up there with him was Dustin Johnson, who is just
he's known for
ball
pounding
striker.
it. Yeah.
So Dustin Johnson's definitely another name to watch, and I think a lot of people know that. A lot of experts know that. I'm looking forward to the Masters. I'll be watching it, hopefully all 4 days, and hopefully you guys are too. Yep.
All right, over to trivia now. Now, last time I asked you first, so you go first.
Okay.
Give me my categories,
please. Do you
please.
want baseball, basketball, or football?
I will take... Let's start hard. I'll go basketball, because I don't know basketball very much.
All right. This one is a little hard.
Okay, go ahead.
All right.
Keep track of how many we get right. Go ahead.
The first Naismith College Coach of the Year. The first time this award was given to any college coach.
Okay.
Is it A, Bob Knight, B, Doc Gooden, C, Jim Boeheim, or D, Roy Williams?
Doc Gooden.
Nope. It was Bob Knight. Doc Gooden was the Mets pitcher.
Wait. Crap. Who am I thinking of?
Doc Gooden, the Mets pitcher.
No. I'm thinking of someone else then. I don't know. I expected you to say the UCLA coach.
Oh, no.
Wooden. I half
John
expected
Wooden.
that.
No,
I feel embarrassed. I'm going to
there.
cut this part out, actually.
All right.
I'll take football.
Okay. Another tough one, ladies and gentlemen.
I hate you.
The first linebacker to win Super Bowl MVP.
Okay.
Was it A, Teddy Bruschi, B, Chuck Howley, C, Brian Urlacher, or D, Ray Lewis?
Ooh, I didn't know Ray Lewis. Man, who was it?
It was B, Chuck Howley.
That was my second guess. That was my second guess. I knew it wasn't Bruschi. All right, give me baseball. Man, I am bad at
baseball.
this. All right, go.
Who was the last player to bat over 400. Was it A, Carl Yastrzemski, B, Pete Rose, C, Ted Williams, or D, Ichiro Suzuki?
I don't think Ichiro ever got 400.
A, Carl Yastrzemski, B, Pete Rose, C, Ted Williams, or D, Ichiro?
I'm going to go Yastrzemski.
And
Oh, man, I hate
if
this.
you could recall, Miguel Cabrera won the last Triple Crown. The guy before that was Carl Yastrzemski. That's why I put that in there. The answer was C, Ted Williams.
Wait, repeat that logic?
Carl Yastrzemski was the last Triple Crown
Oh,
winner
last Triple Crown.
before Miguel Cabrera did it. That's why I put that in there to kind of,
So what
fool
was the
you.
correct answer?
Correct answer was
Ted
Ted Williams
Williams?
of the Red Sox.
Did Pete Rose never hit 400? I thought he did.
No.
Wow. All right. Well, I went 0 for 3. You're pretty much going to win. One of these questions isn't too bad.
Let's
All
do
right.
it.
Baseball, basketball, football.
I guess I'll go in the same order. You picked football. No, you picked basketball first, so I'll go with that.
All right. Who won the very first NBA game in 1946?
Oh, boy.
Was it the Toronto Huskies, the Philadelphia Warriors, the Chicago Bulls, or the New York Knicks?
Huskies.
Eh.
That's hard.
New York Knicks was the correct
All right.
answer. I was tripped up by that too. But consolation prize, the Knicks beat the Huskies. So there you go.
Oh, all right. So,
Half point.
by how much did they get beat by? 'Cause
It wasn't by much, I think.
Oh, well.
Yeah, it
Way
was
to
a
go,
game in the
Huskies.
60s. Yeah,
Way to go, Huskies.
it was like
Come on.
60-something, 60-something.
Jesus.
All right, baseball, football.
I'll go football.
All right, this is a Vikings question for you. You're welcome. But it might
Not-
be might
maybe
be a
not.
little tough.
I heard people couldn't get it before me, so we'll see.
All right. Which Vikings player once led the NFL in scoring in back-to-back seasons? Was it Fred Kotz, Adrian Peterson, Gary Anderson, or Fuad Revis?
Gary Anderson. Was it the first one?
Fred Kotz is the
Fred
correct
Cox.
answer. Yep.
What did I want to hear? What Justin say? Peterson.
He also said Gary Anderson.
Did he?
Yep. All right. I don't really know. I mean, I'm not a Vikings fan. I don't really know
So-
who Fuad Revis is.
I've never.
I don't
heard
think
him.
I'm saying that right.
I don't know him.
All right.
Baseball. I
You need
guess.
baseball for the win.
For the win.
You ready?
Yep.
This might be tough.
Yeah, it probably is. Yeah.
All right. What is the largest margin of victory on opening day?
Wow, nice. I like the timely question.
Was it 15-0, the Dodgers over the Padres, which happened yesterday? Was it Was it in 1955 when the Yankees beat the Senators 19-1? Was it in 2008 when the Boston Red Sox beat the Baltimore Orioles 20-2? Or was it in 1972 when the Texas Rangers beat the Houston Astros 17-0?
D, the last one.
You think the Rangers over the Astros?
Yep.
Correct answer. 1955, the Yankees beating the Senators 19-1.
Damn.
So, we tied.
I don't know.
We both stink at
How do
trivia.
we do this? What should be off the top of our head? Just think of something.
If you got something, go ahead.
All right. Let me think.
I'll think of something. I
I'll
don't
just
really
make
know.
it- hopefully this is right. It should be right.
Go ahead.
New York Yankees numbers and names. So who wore number 7 for the New York Yankees?
Lou
That doesn't-
Gehrig.
I thought it was.
Oh, wait,
Mickey,
no. Sorry, Mickey Mantle.
Mickey Mantle.
Thank you. All right, I'm taking
That's
that.
half credit.
No, I'm taking that.
half credit.
I'm taking that.
I got
All right, let me ask you one.
All right.
Um,
Might probably be harder than that one.
Man, this is tough. Vamp, talk more about the
Vamp.
Masters.
Oh, all right. Masters, greatest tournament in golf. Is there anything else I can tell you about it? ESPN. Always watch it on ESPN. ESPN's the best. You can watch it online. I feel like I'm doing a promo for ESPN.
You are. I'm trying to come up with a question. This is a lot of pressure, man.
I don't know. Just think of a logo.
Okay. All right, here's one. What famous... All right, now, I didn't notice this until last year.
Okay.
And this is a hockey question.
Oh, all right. Yeah.
All right. What famous landmark is featured in the Washington Capitals logo? No choices.
Washington Capitals logo. I kind of remember what it looks like. Washington Capitals logo.
There's
the Capitals-
a national monument or not a monument, a national building or symbol, I guess, in the logo itself.
Well, it can't be the Liberty Bell because that's pretty sure that's in Philly.
It is in Philly.
So I'm going to say The Washington Monument. I don't know.
You are so close. All right, it's the Washington Capitals.
All right.
So what do you think is in it? If they're the Washington Capitals, yeah.
Capitol building.
Capitol building's on the bottom of the logo. Never noticed that.
Yeah.
All right, I win 0.5 to 0.
Yeah, because he gave the non-hockey fan a hockey question.
Well,
I gave you a Yankee question.
You told me to come up with to ask the first thing I could think of. Did you not?
I guess. I mean, you said the first thing you said was wrong. You
Oh.
Pretty sure you said Lou
If you have
Gehrig.
another question, Logan, throw it on out.
All right.
Is
who's
that a
the
no?
second leading scorer for Oklahoma this year?
For Oklahoma? Oh, crap. No choices?
Let me look up the answer.
You don't even know the answer?
I have a guess.
Okay.
But, I'll give you two actually.
Is his name Gary? His name's not Gary.
It could be if you want it to be.
No, it's not then.
All I know is last.
Do you have
name.
the answer yet?
I do not have the answer yet.
Oh, come on.
I have.
For some reason, the name Gary Anderson sticks out, but I know
Gary
that's
Anderson.
not
We just went through this.
right.
Gary Anderson played for the Vikings.
Oh, crap.
It was one of the questions you asked.
That's right. I'm like, why is his name sticking out? Oh, that's funny. Oh, my God. Do you have anything, or do you want to just end it? This is going poorly.
No, because I'm not stopping until we figure this out.
Okay, all right, go ahead. How many feet is it to the right field in Yankee Stadium?
Wow. It's short. It
is very short.
Is it 313?
Oh, close. 318.
318.
I'm pretty sure anyway.
God, I should have known
It's
that.
either 17 or 18. Either way.
Hello. People looking at us through the
Yeah, really.
Kalen Brown looking through us. All right, I'm just gonna say I think it was Woodard.
All right, you know what? Congratulations, Logan Ripley, the winner of trivia. Taylor couldn't have seen you when you won that.
You're welcome.
All right. Do you have anything else you want to add to this botched ending?
Watch the Masters.
Yes, please do. It's what is it? First two rounds on ESPN.
Yep.
And then the last two, is it CBS or NBC? I think it's
tough.
CBS.
Yeah, it probably is CBS.
I'm pretty sure it's CBS. But
CBS going. Yeah.
Yeah, it's got to be
because they've been broadcasting
commercials during
on CBS.
March Madness. Yep. All right. Thanks for tuning in today. Make sure to follow our show on Twitter at RSR Sports Now. You can follow my personal account. It's different this time at Josh_Heller20. What's yours?
Mine at lowercase LOGAN_RIPLEY.
I didn't want to put the underscore in there, but I deleted one account and then I couldn't change it back.
Underscore makes it so much better.
I know, but I couldn't change it back.
That looks professional. Mine's actually my name.
Do you know there's an at Josh Heller? There are many at Josh Hellers. One of them is a model/actor in LA, and the other is the play-by-play voice of the Albany Devils. Yeah. I have to meet that man. I have to become his best friend.
I'm about to take his job.
I'm Josh Heller, filling in for Josh Heller. All right.
And this is Josh Heller on the mic.
You can find our archive shows on YouTube. Search Sports Now on YouTube. Find direct links on our social media. You can find us on Facebook, searching Sports Now on Facebook. Thank you for listening to Sports Now on Radio St. Rose. Be sure to tune in next time for all the latest news around the sports world.